Hello and welcome to the trade setup. In this video we are looking at CNC. It is time for another update, and an update was requested really, so I mentioned this because I wanted to remind you that anyone can make requests and I will most likely cover them, especially if there is an actionable trade setup to follow. Now in the case of this chart we have a very simple structure which is very good for us, and here we have a wave 1 up, a wave 2 down, a third wave up, a fourth wave down, and now we would be looking for the fifth wave to develop to the upside. The thing is, it is not yet confirmed, not even close to being confirmed, that this fourth wave has actually bottomed. Actually, the count rather suggests still continuation to the downside within this wave 4. But as long as we hold this support area between the $44 level down to the $18 level at the 50% retracement, we can expect with a decently high likelihood that we may see continuation in the fifth wave to the upside. Now in the case that it has already bottomed, and I'm not saying that is impossible either, we have a first target for the fifth wave to the upside at the $135 level. Now, as you may notice, even from this point where we already pushed quite high since we bottomed, at least so far within this structure, even from this point we have over 200% in possible profits only at the first target of this fifth wave. Now a fifth wave could easily also extend massively in such a structure where a second target, maybe not the second, but this would be like the third target, would be the 61.8% extension at the $382 level. Now those would be, of course, probably developing over a very large amount of time, but that doesn't matter. It is something very realistic within the expectation of the interpretation of this chart. Now internally, within this wave 4, we have so far been tracking it as an ABC structure. I did mention in the previous video the possibility of this being a WXY structure, because in this ABC pattern that we have on the chart, we could be seeing in fact multiple waves to actually still push us lower. Now even within the wave C, I do have counts that could work where we would really only expect one more low, but what I am mostly focusing on at the moment is this structure, this supposed third wave of the wave C to the downside, where within it we have a wave 1 complete, a wave 2 complete, a third wave down. We pushed higher in the wave 4 all the way to the exact ideal target of a fourth wave. So if you weren't aware, the 38.2% retracement is the ideal target for wave 4. And after we actually reached it, we got rejected quite extensively, quite seriously, and yet we might be already in the fifth wave here to the downside. Now, this resistance area extends all the way up to the $40 level at the 50% retracement, and technically there is no confirmation that we did already top within this wave 4. We could still push higher, but a break above this level would be a first indication that with a higher likelihood this could be the wave 4 bottom in place. Now keep that in mind when you consider that the first target for the fifth wave is all the way up here at the $135 level, and where we are right now, where we at the moment still are in the support zone, where oftentimes we don't even reach. Sometimes we really only get to the first level at the 23.6% retracement, and we already bounce back in a fifth wave. But right now we are pretty deep within, and I'm not excluding the possibility that we have bottomed. So in this case, we could actually be looking in this area at a slightly different count than what we have here in yellow, where this could realistically be a double 1 2 1 2 setup that has developed, and we could be in the third wave to the upside. But for the bearish case, personally I am preferring still another low on this chart within the fifth wave to the downside. And so far, since we topped here currently in this wave 4 at the 38.2% retracement, we have formed what could easily be counted as a 5-wave move down, and then we have so far only a 3-wave move up, where we reached the 78.6% retracement, which is the, let's say, limit for a support, or sorry, yeah, it is a support zone for a wave 2, but in this case it is resistance because we are tracking a fifth wave to the downside. So right now we got rejected at a very crucial level. If we manage to break sustainably above this 78.6% retracement, I would be more open to more continuation to the upside, but so far it was just basically a wick above it, nothing sustainable, and technically this wave 2 is still very much valid even in terms of expectations, where right now I am leaning quite heavily towards at least another low. Now that doesn't need to be within the fifth wave in white, it could really be within the B wave in yellow, where this could develop into an ABC structure and get us deeper into the support zone that we would have here for this interpretation in yellow of an ABC structure. Now, as I was mentioning, for the more bullish interpretation, which I suppose we can use a different color for, and let's use the green doesn't look too good on this, but let's use the blue interpretation. I could even argue that either within the blue scenario or the yellow scenario, we could have also an ABC structure develop in this area that would then still allow us to push higher, either still within a correction, still within this wave 4, or within the blue scenario, where instead we would have a double 1-2 setup, where here we'd have a 1, we would then have a 2, and then we would be looking for a third wave to the upside. But the core part to take away from this development in this area is that in either case, I am still looking for another leg down. If we manage to somehow break above this high, above what we have created here as the top so far, we can re-explore the possibility of a bottom in this area. But right now, yeah, I am still looking for continuation to the downside. And again, in the case of the 1-2 setup, we have the 78.6% retracement that must hold for the probabilities to still have a high chance of pushing in a third wave to the upside. And then, yeah, invalidation point for the blue scenario would be actually the bottom here of this secondary wave 1. And if we break that, then yeah, we would really have to only focus for upside in the yellow interpretation. Could be within an ABC structure, could be within something different. But for now, we don't need to get too much into those details. One last thing I can offer you is a target for a C wave to the downside, assuming that, yeah, we have here this top. I can also provide you a target for the third wave, but for the wave C in this ABC structure, I would be looking at the $31 level, the 100% extension, and in the case of the white scenario, in a 1, 2, 3, I would be looking at the 138.2% extension at the $29.4 level. Now, how this develops, we will need to wait a little bit more. This is on a very small time frame, and yeah, I'm not necessarily too pleased that we have so many accompanying structures here, so many scenarios. What I would focus on mostly would be the blue and the white scenario. And if we break below the blue scenario here at the 78.6% retracement, we can shift a more focused focus, I suppose, to the yellow scenario, which allows for a deeper retracement and isn't as strict in terms of expectations of how it could unfold. And for now, I suppose we could even remove at least the support zone for the yellow scenario to keep it more simple. So yeah, these are the levels. This is the trade setup. I hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did, don't forget to subscribe and let me know what else you want me to cover, and I'll do my best to do that in the days and weeks ahead. And until then, I hope you have a nice day, and I hope to see you in the next video. Bye bye.